I just talked a little bit about we, why I called dynamic meditation dynamic. And it's because we were talking about the fact that dynamic means force or movement or energy. And it also means the unconscious, because the unconscious has a lot of movement and force and energy. In dynamic meditation, at the very beginning in the introductory course, I teach about the sleeping volcano, and it's actually an image that I absolutely love. And I read this in one of the descriptions in the Buddhist tradition, where the Buddhists, a very, very, very long time ago, would use the image that we are a sleeping volcano. And that the sleeping volcano was made up of, or is made up of, a whole bunch of knots, unwanted knots, that inside of us there exists, because of our childhoods, because of the way we grow up, because of our families, that over the years we accumulate um, a bunch of unwanted knots of feelings that tie us up on the inside. And most of the time, we don't even know what they are. We don't even know that they're being created. Of course, today, and as a psychodynamic therapist, I like to identify that as the unconscious. The sleeping volcano is the unconscious, is the part of us that is incredibly active because we're always having reactions to because of unconscious reactions that we have towards our life. And basically, those are the unwanted knots waking up, right? Waking up because of a relationship, waking up because of a work situation, waking up because of a memory we might have that is triggered. Those are unwanted knots all of a sudden coming alive in our sleeping volcano. And in the introductory course, I have a picture of a beautiful sleeping volcano because it usually does look beautiful before it erupts. And that's us. Before we erupt into a reaction, we're calm, we're peaceful, we're just moving about our lives. And then all of a sudden, we can have anything from the outside or even from the inside, like a memory, right? Like how a song triggers a memory. And we erupt. And sometimes we have no idea why we're erupting. And that's where the sleeping volcano or the unconscious comes in, because we do not know why we're erupting in the way that we are. And so I really like using the image of the sleeping volcano when we do dynamic meditation, because what we're actively doing in dynamic meditation is we're going inside and identifying those unwanted knots. We literally intentionally go in and we point at these unwanted knots because we feel that over time, as you bring these unwanted knots up with intention, right? We're not doing it just serendipitously or spontaneously. We're actually saying, I'd like you to go to a memory. I'd like you to think of your mother. I'd like you to think of your father. I'd like you to think of a relationship that hurt you, because it is very likely that we have unwanted knots that still remained, right? And that have knotted into a ball of memory, feeling, thoughts, and reactions that are still there. And so in dynamic meditation, one of the ways that we quiet the mind is actually addressing those knots in the sleeping volcano so that we're not erupting all the time. We're actually actively going in, untying the knot, opening it up. And this isn't always pleasant. It's not always pleasant, obviously. But we actively release these unwanted knots. And so that over time, we become quieter because we don't have them inside of us anymore. We let them go. And we say yes to letting them go. Okay? So just think of your sleeping volcano. It's your unconscious. Just think of your unwanted knots. And in dynamic meditation, that's what we do. Okay. Say yes.